Hello, Yubes of Tubes! I'm Darren Rogan, and in today's video we're going to add some more functions into our public build. I'm going to add a bit of a Nav Bar. I know that Ionic has one, but I don't want to use it. I want to use the Material UI because we're also doing a web deployment, so I don't want it to look exactly like a mobile app the entire time. And I'm going to remove some pages, do a little bit of a restructure, tidy up. We have a very basic application at this stage, and we're trying to move that through to give us something else that we can build upon in the future. Yes, this is the public build series. I hope you enjoy it. If you're interested, follow along. You thought I was going to say something. So did I, but I had a brain fart and it's gone. Follow along after this. Back to me, because I haven't got my green screen. I do have a green screen. So I'm going to do a bit of coding. This one shouldn't be too long, and maybe public builds isn't what people want to see and you want to see something different. I just think it's interesting for us to get a public build app. I was initially going to do a full public build and then put it on the App Store. What I am thinking now is to do a two-stage. Stage one, which is using like a public API and maybe sort of offering the source code up so you can grab that source code and you can run with that. If that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments, because I am thinking about doing that. I know that if I do the full public build, then I'm probably going to use my own API, then I won't release the source code, and I thought it's probably just easier if you to release a portion of that, because what I'm really trying to show you is what needs to go into an application. I'm not teaching you how to code in this set of videos, and what I'm trying to do is sort of run through the processes needed and the functions to build a real app. Now, this app is going to the App Store, let's be clear. Well, a version of this app, but I'm thinking about maybe using the Pokemon API, which then simplifies the whole build process, and we stay on the mobile and we don't move into authentication, we don't move into APIs, etc. Because I want to stay on the mobile JavaScript front end and not drop back into the back end, which for this build is actually Lambdas, Python based AWS Lambda stack. And I know sometimes I move a bit quickly for some people, so let's keep that simple for now and then just focus on the UI, because there's a bunch of stuff I think is important. We need to do like correct error handling, notification, alerts, metrics, the ability to send messages to a phone. I feel that those are more valuable for you than me going into the actual functionality of the system. So I'm thinking I might move to the Pokemon app, do that, add those other features and functions in, test on device, etc. And then I have something which I can openly share with you, going through those main components. And then I'll take that and add in the bits which I want, which are boring for you, which is the core functionality of the application. Who cares about that? Well, my users do, but you don't. You don't care what my app actually does. I'm trying to show you the other stuff that you need, and we haven't really got there yet. We're still playing with just the basic components, which we need them. Like we gotta have them. I could have jumped straight in with a bunch of components, but I think that's not fair, because I think it's important for us to go through the main components. Anyway, let's get into the coding. We are good to go. Here we are. You can see me. You can see the project that we currently have. This is the project. Here's the toggle. If you don't remember this stuff, I will put a card here, no, wrong hand, up there, right at the top, for the previous videos to get to the stage. But we have two menus, as you can see, with a service bus implementation and some stuff in the middle. Now what we are missing is some sort of header. There's normally a nav bar sort of thing at the top. Now if we go back to Angular, we had sort of a list, but if you look in here, they have a, what do they call it? I think they call it a nav. Do they call it a nav? Paginator, slider. What do they call it? Toolbar. Toolbar? I think it's Toolbar. Toolbar. There we go. Toolbar overview. We need one of these is what we need. We need to have a menu button like this, which will trigger our primary side nav, which has got the main navigation. And then that secondary right-hand nav, which you've seen, that is actually for a detailed view. I have a design with a map, and I don't want you to have to leave the map to get a bit more information. But in this example, I'll probably just use a list, and you'll click it, and it will pop out on the right-hand side, and then that data will be loaded into there. As it shows the usefulness, I could do a map and show exactly what I was thinking about in the design, or what I might do is sort of take it with the public side and then add my other non-public parts, the bits that are a bit boring really, and then do a bit of a demo of the final state. But that final state I'm probably not going to release the full source code of realistically, but if you want the code, and you, maybe we'll see. Anyway, let's get on board with the nav bar. So if you remember, we have a few components. We have one page being the home page, and then we have the basic app, and then we have one service being the event service bus, which we had in for the start nav. We sort of need a start nav and an end nav. Start nav. God, E. Remember E on everything? Just drive me up the wall. Okay, and then we have event start nav. Okay, and I will make that a event string. Okay, because event string. Why do I want that to be an event string? It mostly because I know I basically just want to like close it, open it, and then potentially toggle it. Okay, event name. So event name. Let's call it event name. So then it's not an any. We'll call it a string. Do we even want to call? Yeah. Let's do that for now. Okay. So what I will do is I'll jump back to the app component where that's listening. So let's add another subscription. Oops. So we want another subscription. Yeah. And I want to do the start nav subject. Subscribe. Event name. All right. So if it equals open event name, boom. Okay, so if it equals opened, if it equals something else, and else it equals something else. Okay, so boom. So this will be open, close, and toggle. Okay, so if it equals toggle, it will be the start nav open, not the end nav, because this is the start nav. So we want to that open. Okay. Otherwise, unexpected sub a value. So we're only really expecting these three, which is turning the site nav off and on. This one was with the actual data, which shows that we have data coming through. I will do toggle. Anyway, toggle is going to be whatever that wasn't. So that's just going to change the state. If it's open, then we want to set it to open. If it's false, we want to set it to false. Okay, so we set it to the negation, so it's the opposite version. So now we're doing the start nav. I want them all to be closed to me realistically. False, false, false. And let's just make both push for now. Contain a nav backdrop. Let's make that true. Okay. So I've got a end nav which is going to receive some data, and if it's got data, well, it's going to be true actually, true or false. And then this one we're actually passing a string. Okay, open end, toggle end. There's no real reason for us to have any of those in here at this point. Let's change these click events for now. Boom. Let's close these. They don't really matter right now. I just don't want it to break on me. So let's go back to here. So there we go. You can see now the side menus are closed. If I click open, that should open. And then because I've got the backdrop, if I click off, it goes off. All right, so the next bit that I want to do on today's video is I want to add this toolbar. So I quite like this toolbar with the purple. As we can see, you can see this multiple rows. I don't know if I want to do multiple rows. Let's just grab this one, this purple one. Let's go to view code, loading documents, primary. I think it's the primary color. Let's do this one. So we'll grab this matte toolbar. Okay. Matte toolbar. And we will add it into our home page. This is, as you can still see, the Ionic stuff. Ionic full screen content, Ionic header. I want to replace the Ionic header with a matte toolbar. And let's see what that looks like. Did that work? I don't see no toolbar. My app, my favorite. Let's just get rid of this Ion content stuff because realistically, we're not going to be using this going forward. And there we go. Here is my app with, as we can see in the previous example, JavaScript. I don't really have any JavaScript. Do you have any CSS? Flex, auto, example spacer. Oh, okay. I actually quite like that. Let's take that. Let's put that in the CSS. Let's get rid of that. It is a toolbar spacer. Alright, let's take that toolbar spacer. Save. Noisy car. Toolbar. Where is my example spacer? Toolbar spacer. Alright, that's that span. And then that will flex, I'll move everything over. Boom, what do we got here? Now we have my app, heart and share. Do I want heart and share? Maybe. But here, we'll change this to be Darren Rogan YouTube app. And we'll come back to that. So we can see we have this header. Okay. Realistically, I might move this into a standardized component that can be bound in lots of places, but let's just have the toolbar. And then if I come back to the components, if we have a look at these components, I'll probably have something else on the main page. I think we looked at this card before with an example. There's a simple card. Let's get some examples. There's the Shiba testing card with the harness, and then a simple card. Actually, let's just go back and grab this one. Example card. That'll do for now. We'll take that styling as well. Example card. To do replace with actual home page design. Okay. So we'll put that in. I like to put to-dos in my code to remind me. And then if we come back to here, I go back to the TypeScript, you can see there's nothing in here, and then the HTML. Alright, so let's just take this example card, pop this in here, and boom, shakalaka. Here we go. Right, why is that a certain... What's this? Max width. Let's get this max width. Max width. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do it like 90%. There we go. Max width. Can we do flex auto? What will that give me? Let's worry about the styling another time. This design's not there anyway. Material Shinob. So here we go. We have a replacement of this home page, which has got an example card. Realistically, this will be a intro welcome, and then some info that is useful on app startup. This could be, I like to have a home page. I do like to have a home page, but what I generally do is I don't have a home page right at the top of this app. Now that sort of makes sense if it's a very simplistic app. Searching for signal. What's going on here? Did we lose our 30 minutes? Like this camera times out after 30 minutes. And here we go. I'm back. We did lose our 30 minutes. Oh, hold on. I think I need to give a little bit more light. This side. Boom. There we go. On my green screen. Better. Alright, so now I have this home page, but I have no other info. So let's trigger this share button. If we go back to the card, go to the icons, which will come down to components, badges, expansion panels, icons. All right, let's go to the icons. Some examples. What icon can we use? It's an SVG icon. Overview, rendering icons, material font. All right, let's open this up. Let's pick an icon. I'm just going to use this to just trigger the thing on the right. I just wanted an icon search so I can look for them. Here we go. That'll do. For now, let's just call it DVR. Okay, so let's just put one in and we'll call it DVR and get rid of that favorite for now. We can always come back to that later. Okay. So we have this DVR, which I'm going to use to trigger the right hand. I'm going to use this one to trigger the left hand menu, which is right here. But even though it's in the app component, and I could realistically just trigger these underlying variables, I won't, because I don't want any of these to be modified outside the event bus. I want the event bus to be the only way that these are turned off and on, apart from the backdrop. So what I will do is in this home page here, I will bring back this event bus, open bus, and close bus. So let's change this to, or add another one that says toggle start menu, and this will be this dot event message bus dot start event start. Oh, I don't like that typo. That should be a capital S. Let's go back to my service. Capital S. Okay, so event name. Oh, I can really define those as hard-coded variables in here. We'll do that later. We'll do a refactor, a bit of a tidy up. For now, let's just call this toggle. These really shouldn't be strings. They should be centralized as a constant. So then if I change it in one location, it flows through the entire application. But let's just get this by going. Example class icon, label. Yep, that's all good. And then we will bind the click event. Click. Toggle the start menu. Oh, no. Was it the start menu? I don't want to actually toggle that one there. I want to toggle that one here. And I want this one to now do the open. Okay. Let's do the HTML open. Okay. So let's see how that goes. So this one should open the side menu, yep, and then close, and this one should open this menu, which is also, oh yeah, disconnected those. So now you can sort of see the main, if I put this into inspect mode, and then flick this through to a phone, let's go iPhone 10, and then refresh. I don't know why that's at the bottom. We'll worry about that later. This page is being replaced, so I'm not that bothered, but yeah, I'm getting the behavior that I'm expecting. Menus are triggered from interactions. So this is directly in this home page. So we have this toolbar. So the next stage that I would do is to, now we have these nav bars and we have those triggering, is a little bit of refactoring. I really don't like these top level functions, so I will create a new folder and I will create that as pages, and then I will move home inside pages. Yes, because I want to create additional pages. Now that will break some of these imports, so these referential imports, they'll need to go up another one. The home writing, that's still co-located, so that's fine. Modules are okay, HTML doesn't matter, CSS is locally referenced, no imports outside that folder, that's cool. In my app module, where I'm loading the children, where am I loading it? Here we go, on the right here, we will need to go inside the pages. But that makes sense. Now, if cannot resolve services inside page home, so I did miss one. In the page spec, I'm importing the services. All right, yep. I need to go up another directory to get my service bus. And now it's still here. So that's great. Okay, so then the next thing I would do is I'd kill this. Where am I? PW. All right. I would move into the source app folder. Then I would move into the pages, and then I can create a new page. I can actually use the Ionic CLI to create pages. Page. It's easier sometimes for some of the plumbing to be done for you than it is for you to do it yourself. I don't know if you can hear my puppy asleep. She's such a snoring pig. Alright, let's, it's not the capacitor I'm looking for, just the generate. Generate. I'm going to put the wrong link. Generate, there we go. So I want to generate a page. You can see it's got different stuff, pages, components, directives, and services. We've already created a service. I did that manually myself. If you remember in the previous video, the provided in actually took me a moment to remember because I was using the old one. So I've already done that, but you can see I would normally create a components folder, which I'll do right now. So that components folder is for shared components. So a component is just a widget, if you want to think of it like that, where a page is a definition inside a router, and then we have directives. I don't have any plans for directives at this exact moment, so we might add those later, but components Normally, well, not normally, sometimes I'll move the nav bar into a component which is injected in, and other times I don't. I'm not sure if I'll move it in, but we will definitely have components at some point. So normally that right nav, as you've seen that example that I have, where this is probably I would have a detail view, which is a component, so it's mounted here, and then it might be mounted somewhere else in the application. So that's it. Widgets, the wrapper for the widgets, and services, which is the thing that generally does functions, retrieves information, where the page is about the state of the page management and the component is about the individual widget. So that's the best way of thinking about these things. Okay, so now we have those components. Let's go into the pages, and let's actually generate a page. So I can go Ionic generate. We can also just do G, and I want to generate a page. And what do I want to call it? I want to call it, well, this is my list page. So in the next video, I'll do some data retrieval. What I will do is I will call this one Pokemon. Pokemons, because I think we will use the Pokemon API. There's a really nice Poke API. It's just everyone loves Pokemon, and if you don't love Pokemon, there's something wrong with you. Did you have a childhood? Did you not have a Nintendo? Did your parents not love you? I don't know. Even my kids play Pokemon. They destroy my battery on my phone. But anyway, I digress. So you can see there's Pokemon. We'll probably use some of these. But we'll get into that next video when I do some data retrieval. But right now I'm just creating a page for a list page of Pokemon, which is why I called it Pokemons. I'm not sure if the whatever. I'm not sure I've spelled that right. But I do have the pages. So now inside pages, because I was inside that page, as you can see, I'm inside the pages. When I generate another page, it's in there. I can, I believe, do it through the CLI with a little bit more. But now if we come to this Pokemon, I have this routing module for this page and most of the stuff that's needed. If I go to the app module, the thing about adding it through here is it automatically adds it in with the name. So now I have this other path being Pokemons and the page where that Pokemon exists. So now we have two pages. So I think it's time to fix this nav. Okay, so this nav realistically would be home for now and Pokemons, which is not great. So that's a list. So what we normally do in Ionic is we have a, how do I search? We have a writer link. All right, writer link. Writer link. Writer link are it's just a link realistically. All right. It's just standard Angular. Let me see if I can pull it up. Angular writer link. Well, because it uses the Angular writer in Ionic, it's basically straight Ionic, or sorry, straight Angular. Yes, go away. Description, relative links. So you can see this at writer. That's sort of got binding because it's got query parameters plugged in. We don't really need bindings, so let's just. Oh, there's a fragment. Or do I want the bind? We don't have any parameters, so let's just take it back up a section. Is there any examples? I'm so impatient. I don't want to read it anymore. I just want to get to the code. Well, I have read it before. It's unfair. I recommend to take a little bit of time. The square bracket stuff is because they're binding additional data. I don't need any square brackets, but inside the list, I still will do an aref. A. Okay, and because it's not binding, well, because it's just a static write, as in there's no data being passed into it, and I have it sort of saved as, well, this will be home. It'll be home. Oh, there's an active. Where's the act? Anyway, we'll come back to it. There's like an active flag I can add, which will change the styling based on Pokemons. Pokemon. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm setting the router in the side nav. Now that side nav, if we remember, is here. So this side nav, and then we'll do Ionic serve. So this side nav is going to be replaced with these two links inside this material list with a material list item. Then I'm going to do an aref with a router link. That router link will tell it to go to this named route, and that named route will take it to home, and that named route will take it to the Pokemon. So if I go here and then go to Pokemon, now we're on Pokemons. Now I did not do the header in Pokemon, so let's just jump back into pages, and if I take this home page, grab this bar, go here, get rid of this, plug this in, menu, DVR. What I will also do is do just so to be sure that we're in the Pokemon page. Here is the Pokemon page. Now I am expecting this to fail, and the reason is because this module does not import the material UI, which I'm using there. So in this module, importing the material UI, oops, and we will add it in. Okay, so now this should build. It doesn't have the styling. As you can see, that styling here is happening on each page. That's one of the reasons why I would also move it into a component, because the component can then be styled independently and then sucked into a couple of spots. So for now, for today, this will be enough. So you can see here's the Pokemon page. Styling is not great, but so now we can come back. What happened there? Oh yeah. I want to plug in the message service bus too, because I want that to occur. See, I'll do I normally would do this and then I would do a refactor later, because there's no point going too early into the refactors, into the design, when you're not 100% certain at this stage. So here we go. We come back. Here is the event service bus. I'll go to the home page, toggle start. Let's just whack those in for now. We will move these into another shared component, but I don't want to go too advanced too quickly, or I'll probably lose some people. Okay, so the binding should still be there. So now we have Pokemon. Here we go, Pokemon page. The binding still work, yep. And home. And the binding still work. And we still have our pattern that we used. So home, Pokemon. Oh, you can see we've got slightly different styling on different one. Those headers are slightly different. I like the second one a little better. We'll have to have a look at what we did. Auto toolbar spacer. I have that. Example width. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Alright, well, that is enough for today. We have a updated nav. So we now have a nav bar and we have routing. So the app is going to the correct locations. Now realistically, I might change how that works, so that when I click it, it closes the menu. As you can see, the menu is not closing because that router, which is changing these pages, is not triggering a menu close. So we'd probably do both. We'll change how that works. Rather than using a router link, and we'll use a function that then triggers the event service to close, as well as doing the link. Maybe not. It just depends. And then this one will be there. All right. I think that's enough for this public build series. I hope you find that useful. This public build series, trying to go through what we really want to put in a basic application, how to do it, and then we're going to get into data retrieval in the next video. So I'm going to hit an API, we're going to suck data from somewhere. There are tons of APIs. You can pay for APIs, you can write your own API, you can consume free APIs that exist. The choice is up to you. But we are going to retrieve some data in the next video and display that on screen, and then use that service bus that we built in the previous video to transfer some information to be rendered on another screen, well, in the side nav. I hope you find it useful. Join me in my public build series. I'm Darren Rogan. Have a great day. Hopefully you'll launch something soon. Ciao. Can I launch products on the internet that make money? You'll have to follow me to find out. Then hit the subscribe button and join me on my journey.